What's up guys, Avronius here with another Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video, I just wanted to go over briefly the new fusion. Obviously it's been going on for a little bit now, and we do have the boosted summons event going on right now in the portal. Now the boosted summons, of course, goes along with Fragment Summon event, which is, or fusion, excuse me, and it is Sigmund the High Shield. Really cool looking champion. You know, at first glance, looks like a lot of people were like, oh, I'm definitely on track to getting this champion. But then you look at it again, I mean, he's not strong, but he will definitely help shield the team for sure. He does have a really strong ability right here on the A3, Shield of the Realm, which is going to place shield buffs on all allies, equal to 30% of his max HP, plus places a Strengthen, which is insanely strong on a 3-turn cooldown. And then if you go ahead and put the masteries on the accuracy tree, then you can have him put that for a 3-turn cooldown, which is pretty insane. Like, it basically puts it on 3 turns instead of 2 turns, especially for the shield would be like super OP. I mean, I guess he wouldn't be broken, but I'm sure there's people out there who can get his max HP to be about, you know, 70 to 100 and whatever K HP. And the thing is, this champion is based on defense, so you want to build him with defense if you want to try to hit any type of damage whatsoever. However, he doesn't hit crazy hard, so honestly, I wouldn't even worry so much about defense. If you want to put defense, I'd put between 2,000 and 3,000 defense. Obviously, people who have been playing this game for a very long time can get more than that very easily, especially if you've been working on your Great Hall and you have decent gear. Personally, if I were to get him, I'd put him in probably like a shield set, depending on what parts of dungeons I put him in. I would use him in a lot of my dungeons. Doom Tower as well would be a big one for me, because he does have a nice Doom Tower aura, which I didn't show you, but Doom Tower aura of 40% in all battles, so that's kind of cool. Now, my issue with this fusion is, you know, I'm definitely going to get Dur the Hungerer. He's a good support champion, especially for, I believe, Skinwalkers. No, Demon Spawn. So I haven't beaten my Demon Spawn crit. This is a cool looking champion as well. And the good thing about this guy is he has a revive 2 random allies, 50% HP, and fills their turn meter by 50% on a 4-turn cooldown. So you can build this guy pretty tanky. He also has a reflect damage, which is nice, and a stun on the A1, which is also pretty sweet too, to help with the waves, especially if you're on Valkyries on any of those stages leading up to the final boss. Of course, we do have Delecia, who has a decreased defense on all enemies, and Scabrius, he's got some damage in his kit with some poisons and leech. It looks like he'd be made for the clan boss. I'm sure he can do some damage on clan boss. He also hits fairly hard. I've seen a couple of videos on him. He does deal some decent damage for the Skinwalkers. But I think Skinwalkers definitely need some more love for sure when it comes to champions. And then obviously Demetha, she's a support champion for the Dwarves. Anyone getting this champion, I mean, you are very lucky. However, there's a caveat. You have to be able to pull a ton of shards. When I say a ton of shards, I mean, just look at my shard count, for example. I've got 1,200 mystery shards, 12 ancient shards, 5 voids, and 1 sacred. If I pull all of this right now, so for the summon rush, we have 3,000 points to get Demetha, and that's the final fragments for me to get Demetha. However, on here you can also get Delecia. I could definitely get Delecia. She would be a decent champion for me for Knight's Rev if I wanted a defense down. And then of course she would go well with Skullcrown, because Skullcrown can nuke waves. However, when you get onto the Valkyrie waves on stage 21, even putting that decreased defense, yes, it's going to help significantly, but I don't think it's going to help to the point where like you're nuking and just absolutely obliterating the Valkyries on that stage. It's just not going to happen. And the Valkyries are bound to potentially put up those giant massive shields. So you do need CC on that stage for sure. Provokes, whatever you can do to help get those Valkyries from not attacking. Now, maybe if you have a really good set of accessories and amulets, things like that, that you could put on your champions, like really good gear, you can probably just blast right through the Valkyrie stage. So at the events, so the biggest issue is, you saw how I explained how many shards I have, but here's the issue for this summon rush. You look at 3,000, it's 500 for a sacred shard, 120 for a void, 20 for an ancient, and 1 for mystery. I have about 1,200 mysteries. I have 12 ancients, which means I'm only going to have 240 points here, so that's 1,440. I have 5 void shards, so that's 500, 600, so that's about 2,000, and then a sacred shard. So I'm stuck at about 25, 2,600, and I need the extra 400. So I would literally have to pull all of these shards, and I'm still not hitting the mark. Now, because of this, I am probably not going to pull all my shards. I mean, it's just not worth it. I'm not even sure if I want to pull my shards at all now, because unless I get lucky on my clan boss, and I can only hit Nightmare clan boss, mind you, unless I get lucky on clan boss and pull a sacred when I get up in the morning, then yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it. Now, when it comes to the tournament, Tag Team Arena, I always like participating in Tag Team. I'm not doing great right now. I haven't really been participating very much the past week. Very busy with work, but I'm gonna try to go for this rank 4 chicken if I can help it. I think it's attainable for me. Fire Knight, you should all try to at least get to these gems if you can do it. The gems are going to be helpful for you. 40 gems is going to restock 100 plus energy for yourself, so that's important. I'm only at 1900. There's no way I'm competing to get these 5 fragments up here for Demetha. You know, it is what it is. I'm just not going to push that hard to try to go there. And then, so there's that. We got Classic Arena starting soon. And then going back to events, I mean, Dungeon Divers, I'll definitely get Dur the Hungerer here. I might even try to get this Ancient Shard, would be nice. If I could push for this extra silver, great, but I don't think it's really that worth all the energy wasted. And then the next one, Artifact Enhancement, I'll definitely get that one as well. I do highly suggest people to go all the way to get the core hammers. That's going to be really important, especially if you like to go into the forge and craft Swift Parry. So for me, I don't know if I'm going to pull my shards, because at the end of the day, you think about this, Plarium has a tendency to bait people, and when they bait you, you usually pull all your shards, and then for some reason the next fusion or the next week they have a crazy 10x or 2 times event. And I didn't even get into that actually. Right now they do have 10 times targeted summons, 10 times chance to get these champions right here. So Rhodos, the Lost Groom, very, very good champion. I'm not going to read it to you. Zavia, super big into poisons, would make your dragon runs a pinch, like literally so easy. She does have like an explosion effect here, which will kill all enemies, especially if you pair her with Tomb Lord or other champions that will, like Taurus, that will post on all the enemies tons and tons of poisons. The next one is Blood Gorge, super heavy hitter on his A3, which ignores defense. That means 100% of defense, which means you don't need to put him in Cruel, or you don't need to put him on Savage either. So if you want, the suggestion for this guy would probably be to just put him in a crit damage set or a relentless set. You can also put him in, like, Relentless is probably going to be great because he does have a chance to proc. This is every 4 turns, so if he's going on a Relentless set, he could just keep going and going, and he could put one of each target's skills on cooldown potentially if you get books into this guy, but most people out there are not investing books into this guy, although he is a good champion. Next one is Inithwi Blood Twin. Inithwi is a very good champion as well. He doesn't hit very hard, and the reason why is because he has block revive as a passive. Anytime he kills somebody, he's blocking their revive. And I think it's fair to say that if you have a champion that's a legendary that can block other enemy teams' champions from respawning, he shouldn't be crazy powerful. Like, he shouldn't have a Trunda level nuke, but he should have a significant amount of nukage where he's helping your team to succeed and potentially play in a platinum level. The issue is he doesn't hit hard enough to play in platinum, and he's a void legendary. You don't really see him very often in platinum. I personally have never been in platinum, but I speak from a platinum perspective because if you're going to get a really good void legendary champion, you expect them to be top tier, S tier legendaries. Okay, now I understand that void legendaries and certain void champions are supposed to be somewhat weak just to balance out the load of all the champions, but I personally think that's BS. If you get a void legendary champion, you should be jumping out of your chair, jumping out of your seat. I'm sure all of you have been super mad if you pulled a Visix legendary as a duplicate when you pull her after, what, 200 days or 275 days of logging into the game. That just shouldn't be happening. They need to take out the ability to pull a secondary Visix or a secondary Scylla the Drakes. Now, I might get some flack for that. People might say, no, we should be able to pull another Visix. We should be able to pull another Scylla the Drakes. But there's no dupe system still. So now they will be bringing the dupe system soon, but the issue is we just need to have a way to keep our champions, to keep our free-to-play and keep our pay-to-play players at least saving some money. I understand Plarium needs the money, but if you're paying tons and tons of money, I feel bad for that person because yes, they might have the money to go and whale out constantly, but they're constantly getting the same legendary over and over and over, and I'm sure it gets crazy irritating. Like, for me, I pulled a dupe Tila Gormain after my 6th pull for legendary Sacred Shard. You know, that's terrible, and they finally buffed Tila Gormain, and her buff is trash. Like, it's not even good. She has a HP burn move that they just updated so that instead of having to hit a critical to place an HP burn, she now has to just place an HP burn. So you still need high accuracy on her. Like, they should have made her ability, and I'm going a little off track here, I apologize, but they should have made her ability, you know, it can't be resisted. So this should be can't be resisted. This here should honestly be can't be resisted. And then she would be more of a top tier legendary. Oh wow, they even buffed her resistance from 40 to 50. I didn't even notice that. Looks like they kind of just slid that one in there. 40 to 50. That's terrible for a resistance aura, unless her resistance was always at 50 for an aura. Post down in the comments below if it was over 50, under 50. I think it was under 50. I think it was 40 before. Of course, she still has this A1, steals a random buff from the target, but then they added as well, has a 50% chance of stealing another random buff if the target is under 2 or more buffs. So it would be good, but it's only a 50% chance. So the fact that they're only allowing you to get another chance, it should be to make Tila really good, to make her actually usable in PvP and more usable in PvE. This A1 ability, just allow her to steal all buffs from the enemy on one enemy target. That will not break her. That will not break her, in my opinion. I think that she would still be a so-so champion and keep all the stats, right? So she's 98 speed, decent amount of HP. She's based on HP. She doesn't hit incredibly hard. She has okay resistance. Just give her A1, steals all buffs. That should have been what it. That's what should have been for the buff. But honestly, it is what it is. I can't really say anything more about it. I have 2 Tila Gormains. I'm gonna build one of them out. I might as well build the other one unless they bring in this dupe system where you have to upgrade your legendary champions with duplicate legendaries. I think that's gonna be crazy if they do that. But hey, having something from Plarium at this point is better than having nothing. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Leave a comment down below if you like listening about rants, if you like listening to me rant at all, and like this video, and please subscribe. Subscribing is going to help me out significantly so I can continue to bring this content to you, the viewers, and take care.